The Olympic Games.
1. The very first Olympic Games started in Greece almost 3,000 years ago. In those early years, there were simple foot races and horse races. The games honored the god Zeus and other gods in the town of Olympia. These games continued for 600 years and then stopped because people stopped believing in many gods.
2. The modern games began again in 1896 in Athens, Greece, with 250 athletes from 14 countries. Women entered the Olympics a year later. In the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens, there were 11,000 athletes from 202 different countries.
3. The Olympic flag has 5 rings. The colors on the rings are red, white, blue, green, yellow, and black, because each country in the Olympics has at least one of these colors in its national flag. What colors are in your country's flag? About lying. Dictation, Part 1.
1. Some people lie because they are ashamed to tell the truth. 2. Sometimes we lie to protect other people. 3. Politicians lie a lot. 4. Men lie more than women.
Dictation, Part 2.
1. You didn't do your homework because you went to a party the night before. To your teacher, you say, "I was sick." 2. Bob and his girlfriend, Mary, are going to get married next year, but he went out with another girl last Saturday. When Mary asked him where he was on Saturday, Bob said, "I was at the library." 3. Your sister just had a baby boy. When you first see the baby, you think he's ugly, but you look at your sister and say, "He's cute." 4. Susan wrote on her resume that she graduated from Harvard University. She took one course there.
5 things that will disappear.
1. The post office. Can you imagine a world without the post office? They are in serious financial trouble because of email, Federal Express, FedEx, and United Parcel Service, UPS, which delivers packages. Every day, most of our mail is junk mail and bills.
2. The check. It costs the financial system billions of dollars a year to process checks. This connects directly to the death of the post office. If you never paid your bills by mail and never received them by mail, the post office would definitely go out of business.
3. The landline telephone. All the cell phone companies will let you make calls using the same cell provider for no charge against your minutes. If you have a large family and make a lot of local calls, you may need a landline, but you are paying twice for that extra service.
4. The newspaper. People under 40 don't read the newspaper. They get their news online. Many don't subscribe to a daily delivered print edition. The number of people reading the paper online is due to the rise in internet devices, and companies like Apple and Amazon have developed a model for paid subscription services.
5. Privacy. Privacy has been gone for a long time. There are cameras on the street in most buildings and even built into your computer or cell phone. You can be sure that 24/7 they know who you are and where you are.
Wild turkeys.
People began to see wild turkeys in cities a few years ago. They were very excited and took lots of photos. Now that there are so many of these large birds, people are not so happy. Some people are afraid of them. Here is a story about Mrs. Rosen. One day, Mrs. Rosen, a teacher, got off the bus to go to the bank in her city. She felt something poke her in the back. She turned around and saw a big wild turkey. She began to run, and the turkey ran after her. At the bank, she turned around and screamed very loudly at the turkey, "Go away!" The turkey turned around and slowly started to cross the street. All traffic stopped. Cars honked their horns. The turkey didn't care. It wasn't in a hurry. It walked very slowly until it got to the sidewalk. One wildlife official said that if you run from turkeys, as Mrs. Rosen did, they will follow you because they think it's a game.
Tipping in a restaurant.
Check, $20, 15%, $3, 20%, $4. Check, $35, 15%, $5.25, 20%, $7. Check, $58, 15%, $8.70, 20%, $11.60. Check, $72, 15%, $10.80, 20%, $14.40. Check, $86, 15%, $12.90, 20%, $17.20. Check, $97, 15%, $14.55, 20%, $19.40.
Changing careers.
In 2001, a friend gave Terry a little dog as a gift. She named him Kanji. Terry's life changed. She had to come home earlier to take care of Kanji. He made her feel better. She was healthier and happier. In 2004, she decided it was time for a change. She quit her job and decided to open a store that sold things for dogs and cats. She had saved a lot of money, so she didn't have to borrow any. For a year, she went to classes on how to start a small business. Then she found a small, empty store near her house. She sells many useful things and many things that are not as useful. One of her best-selling items for dogs is rubber boots that look like balloons. They are important in the winter so that dogs don't get sand and salt in their paws when they walk on icy streets. She also sells things like baseball jackets for dogs and T-shirts that say, "Dogs are children in fur coats." She says that she has never been happier.
Greeting cards. Dictation.
Hallmark is the largest greeting card company in the United States. The company started in 1910. It makes about 19,000 new cards a year. About 16,000 people work for the company. The average person sends about 55 cards a year. Now you can buy musical cards that play songs like Happy Birthday to You when you open them. You can also send electronic greeting cards, e-cards, or send greetings to a mobile phone by text message. In August 2008, Hallmark began to make same-sex marriage cards for states where same-sex marriage is legal. The company's motto is, "When you care enough to send the very best."
Listening.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure, why not?
My first question is, how often do you buy and send greeting cards?
That's a good question. I have to think about it. I send about 20 cards a year, and maybe another 20 cards at Christmas.
How much do you usually spend on a card?
Usually about $2.95. At Christmas time, I buy a box of cards. Then they're much cheaper.
What was the last card you sent?
Unfortunately, last week, I had to send a sympathy card to a friend. Her father had died. I also sent a get well card to someone in my office who has a broken leg.
Did you send her a serious card or a funny card?
I sent her a funny card.
When did you last get a card?
On my birthday, I got cards from my husband, all of my children, from friends, and one from everyone in the office. Almost all of the cards made fun of me getting older.
Those cards are very popular now. We even have cards for people who are becoming 90 or 100.
That's amazing.
It is. Thank you for your time. You've been very helpful.
Trivia contest.
1. Where can you buy a Whopper Jr.? 2. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? 3. What language do people in Mexico speak? 4. How much does a pack of cigarettes cost? 5. Where is the longest river in the world located? 6. How long does it take to fly from New York to London? 7. How much is $10? 8. What does I get it mean? 9. Where are the next Summer Olympics going to be? 10. You are invited to a potluck party. What does potluck mean?
Languages in the U.S.
The population of the United States is 325 million. Most people speak English, but the Census Bureau tells us that there are 14 million U.S. households where people speak a language other than English. In the state of California, more than one language is spoken in 40% of the households there. Nationwide, 1 in 5 children enters school speaking a language other than English. Unfortunately, these students often lose much of their first language when they learn English. When immigrant students are in high school and have been in the U.S. since they were 4 or 5, Many of them can still understand their first language, but they cannot read or write in their first language.
Valentine's Day around the world. 1. The Dominican Republic and El Salvador.
In these countries, friends and family play games. In the Dominican Republic, the game is called Angelito, and in El Salvador, it is called Amigo Secreto, secret friend. Friends write the name of another person, boy or girl, on a small piece of paper. Then each player gives this friend a gift.
2. Italy and Britain.
Young women stand by the window in the early morning on Valentine's Day. They believe that the first man they see will be their husband.
3. Japan.
Japan has 2 Valentine's Days. On February 14th, girls give dark chocolate to the boys they like. And on March 14th, boys give cookies or white chocolate to the girls they like.